making me so excited that I'm like hyperventilating that for your enjoyment.
No,
So
you
I like it.
good. I like your content. You know, most people who be trying to do this content, they be persuading to do this content, then they be along with the negativity. But it's cool.
Yeah. I like to coexist with, the high and the low vibrations.
How you doing, California?
Hey Daddy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Making some coffee.
Okay. Like that. I like that. I'll enjoy my coffee with you because I won't get up again. Um I actually will go ahead and put some coffee on because for me, a hot beverage and holding it and drinking it is very comforting to me. And yesterday I exposed some parts of me in such a healing way and I loved it and it was so uplifting. But a part of my PTSD is
Shut up,
that
dirty ass up. Shut up, bitch. You're not talking about shit, dirty hoe.
Hey, shut your bitch ass up. Get off
Man, you
live.
shut your bitch
Stupid
Hey, wait,
ass
ass
wait,
up
wait,
goofy.
wait,
too,
wait, wait.
man.
Hey,
Oh,
hey, look, Batu, we ain't gonna feed
already
into the
that
negativity,
fire on
bro.
your pussy
Don't
ass.
feed into the negativity. These niggas are young and dumb, bro. We can't feed into the negativity, man. Don't feed
I
into the
just
negativity.
yeah. So a part of my PTSD, y'all, is that after I share it, I feel ashamed of the weakness as if I own it, but I do not own it. Those were a series of events that I don't share, but it's like the physical things that you can see of me that I thought was an embarrassing imperfection. I've made it a part of me. So I'm gonna make my coffee so I can continue to like to be strong and to enjoy this moment. I'm gonna comfort myself while we get into our high vibed up talk.
So that's like your coping.
Well, no, I'm not coping. I'm enjoying myself. It's just a part of me and the way I tick.
Hell yeah. I like your
Hmm.
vibe.
Okay, so I put my coffee on the stove. I'm glad I did that because that's really comforting for me to take care of myself in that way. And also, I just wanted to say anybody that also deals with like social anxiety or PTSD and they have like physical symptoms from it, like hyperventilating or like trembling or something when you feel like you're being really courageous. Um, we, I'm going to tell you this, everybody already knows or maybe they don't, but you can be happy and not over explaining yourself so much and just being. That way you get stronger. Because I find when I try to explain my behavior, I'm reminding myself to feel sorry for myself. And that's what makes me become emotional about it. And I want people to see my strength, not because I have to hide myself, but because people already got a cup of their own shit, so they're not being mean to you when they're trying to make you perform stronger. It's to help everybody. And also, I know they may not know, and some of them do know, but I know that whatever your physical things, like if it's you're showing scary or something, or if you're not able to speak correctly, or even if it's a more mental symptom where you can't speak
What's up, my
properly
white
or something,
nigga? What's up, my white
um,
nigga?
I wish you could be a more intelligent being. So I just kicked them out. So if you're, I know I know that whatever physically you're displaying, or even if it's a speech impediment, whatever it is, I know that it's not your strength. And it could be a strength once you begin to own it. I know that that's not a constant state, and that's not the totality of you. All the things together, and the fact that you love that about yourself one day, that is what makes you great. Decision making, and or more, even more closer than that, we think about our human behavior. So the actions that we have done, the remembered human behavior patterns that we have learned, we think about them. And we don't try to change them or manipulate them. We learn to understand them and to accept them. And it's a different way of viewing our world. And it's very clear. It feels very good. It's comforting. It's soothing. And it's harmonious. It's like looking at a nature view and exhaling, So that's what we like to do. Hey, Jim.
How you doing, Kitty?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing so good.
I love that.
Me too.
Or is it about your day? Like, what's the wonderfulness right now?
I smoke some weed, and I haven't smoked. I smoke weed probably like once a week, or
Mm-hmm.
if it's stress triggered. Like today, it was triggered by stress. Prior to that, it was
Mm-hmm.
probably like 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and now everything is flowing through my body. And so I'm looking at you, and I'm just imagining like this right here. I can't really explain it. I could just show an example. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
imagining this. Yeah. Yeah, you just holding me tight. I'm sitting in this same chair, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like
But
that.
like I said,
And I like
I think it's
that.
just
And I like that you use it in a therapeutic way. I'm actually gonna roll up right now myself, just because we just talked so much. Um, with myself, I exposed a part of myself, and I usually come to the panel with a clear mind, with a sober mind, so we really get into our conversations. But I do use MJ as in a healthy therapeutic way, and I'm not here to show you a weak broken person, because that's not who I am. But when it comes to, and we don't discuss our dark days, we move ahead in here. But as someone with, PTSD, the after of expressing all that emotions is like this, you get a brain fog after, and there's this, like,
yeah,
it's just got to process out. So I won't be
yes,
showing you that. I'm gonna roll up, and we're gonna high vibe into our combo. So thank you for that, Jim.
yeah, that's awesome. Damn, you
Hmm.
are very like. I think the last time I met someone that was just articulate was like articulated was I want to say my mom, but then I have to be fair and kind of think a little bit further. Maybe my teacher, Miss Harris. Yeah, she was cool. We used to smoke together, Miss Harris.
Yeah. What grade was that?
8th grade.
Man.
Yeah, she
Hey,
lived in my
hey,
neighborhood,
SSJ.
so it was kind of different.
Hey, SSJ. What's up, SSJ Bart? Welcome to the
What's up?
panel. I'm
Thank you for
I'm rolling up, and I usually come with my clear mind, but I'm rolling up as part of my comforting myself. So we, we do everything healthily, and we turn up and take shots over here too, y'all. So I'm getting into my zone and everything. So yeah. And I tend to over explain my behavior. So right now I'll stop doing that, okay? Go ahead, Jim. You lead us into the panel.
I do the same shit.
Okay.
You know what
Motherfuckers
I
be
had to
like, bitch, shut
realize
the
though?
fuck up or you make me cry. Shit.
Nah, but I had to realize like you gotta do it. You have to because then you're only gonna attract who is solely interested in you. It's like a filter.
Mhm.
And if you
Yeah.
keep apologizing and stopping yourself, then you're not gonna
Mhm.
like suck the world for like the people who are literally for you
Yeah.
only. You know, and some
Yeah.
people might think that's selfish, but I feel like it's genius. You might have a slow grind when it comes to followers, but you're gonna have those diehards. You know what I mean?
Mhm. And two is like we know we're good, and the people that are attracted to me, like we're like further along in our healing and in our journey. But it's like I try to explain for the people that are like just beginning or they don't know that they can begin and that can't afford a therapist. So they don't know how to think about the stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Damn.
yeah.
I got a Hello Kitty Letterman jacket 2 days ago.
You know?
Yeah, I had it on today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw
Hey,
that on right now.
put it on.
You know what I'm saying? The
And my
yellow
coffee
Yeti.
good. Hey. Okay. No, but take it off because I want to see your turtleneck. It looks so good. I like looking at it.
For real?
Yeah, it looks so. You know what? I love turtlenecks. I love turtlenecks. I wish I could wear
That's
one every
crazy.
day.
That's crazy. I ran the last live I was in. She was like, "Man, you got this turtleneck on." And every time I put a turtleneck on here, people always trying to flame me for wearing a turtleneck.
Me
I'm about
too,
to
because
go.
you can't find a turtleneck. A turtleneck is a sexy piece of clothes. Remember
Yeah,
Steve
right.
Jobs? He only wore that black ass turtleneck.
Trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell
That
you the
bitch was
turtleneck. Hey.
gray. That bitch was fading. He kept it on to the
Hey
iPhone
yo,
pop. Shoot. The
I feel
motherfucker
like
pop,
if
he
you
he
got
kept them.
fashion,
He got a white one. Huh?
if you into fashion and you get into your older years, not even old years, but like your maturing years is what I'll say. And you definitely gonna have some turtlenecks, or you're gonna have the.
Hey, you look good though. I ain't gonna lie. You putting lipstick on look good for me though. I ain't gonna lie. You look good though.
Thank you.
Where you from?
I'm from St. Louis, y'all.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
I,
If I was in front of you, if I was in front of you right now, I'd give you a kiss though. I ain't gonna lie.
well, thank you. That I do appreciate that, and I appreciate you telling me that because I know it's meaningful.
Like, can you
Um,
imagine?
well, I'm not saying that that's something that I want from you. I'm saying I appreciate you sharing that because this is a clear mind space panel, and I like, and we talk about relationships and man and female, not relationships. We talk about man and female interactions too. So if you shoot your shot at me, I think it's a good thing, and I'm honest in my feedback. So as you experience other women, you just become sharper and greater at it. And even the day becoming night, meaning accepting that I'm not wanting to move forward, but I like the compliments and I enjoy it on my panel. So if you can continue to do that in a healthy way that doesn't distract from the ultimate goal of a clear space, I think that's brilliant of you.
I feel that. Ugh.
Uh,
So yeah. But I wanted to tell y'all something about acceptance. We were talking about peace and gaining peace. And I also like to talk about maintaining peace. And I like to talk about men containing women with their presence and their big old staying power so that she can create the life inside of your containment, which is love and joy and being like God, not force or anything that's doesn't feel orgasmic. And so with peace, I was saying that peace doesn't mean everything around you is wonderful and beautiful. That would be happiness. Peace is when you have these day-to-day frictions, not an all-day 10-year stint of something that's hurtful and pain and trauma. That's something different. That is not okay, but that is a part of your acceptance. And if you accept that, that is greatness. It's a big old thing. But the little tiny frictions, that is what builds peace, and that's withstanding. So that means these little irritants come and you within your physical body maintain your state of being. And not in a hard, negative, sad way, but in a I'm enjoying this type of way. That is the peace. And before you get there, you just get to even keel. I was even keel for like 5 years or so, or 7 years. But that even keel, that's when you are okay, but you are love deprived. Like you don't have any love. Like you can't feel anything there. It's a place of stability though. You know what I'm saying? But now, after 15 years of therapy and reparenting myself, because you have to reparent yourself, and that is self-love. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so learning to ebb and flow with day and night each day, that is when you develop, that's how I develop my peace. Okay. And then I want to talk about happiness. Happiness is when everything around you is beautiful and wonderful. They don't, nothing changes to become beautiful and wonderful. It already is beautiful and wonderful. But can you see that? So I would think that happiness is another level of intelligence. It's not like people wanting a rush, and they can get a rush with toxicity and meanness and get in your way. But this type of happiness is orgasmic. Could you feel like, could you, when you've seen a nature view or a body of water or the stars, because sometimes you never see them, and some days when I see the stars, I can't even believe it because saw it as a kid and I don't see it now. And when you look up at something like that or out at something and it takes your breath away, or even if it doesn't take your breath away that deeply, if it makes you go to silence,
I ain't gonna lie,
could you
you really taking my breath away right now. Like you look so beautiful, and you
think?
adoring yourself like so coordinate. It's just
Hmm.
like I never met a girl like you before.
Thank you.
You just very outgoing. Like
Thank you for
that's what,
listening to me. And
you got a nice personality. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love to like take you on a nice little date, and we have like a good time, like in a helicopter or something, and we just like. Would you like that though?
at this moment, I'm on reserves, so I'm not really looking to date anybody. I'm more so healing myself, and I
Not
am.
necessarily a date, just on some friend shit.
Mhm.
You
And this
know,
is the answer that I'm giving you.
hopefully it's nice.
And it's a stern one. I like you to accept it and then continue to be on the panel, you know. But more of it is I do not want more. And in real life I wouldn't speak to a man like that. I wouldn't say those things, but this is a panel about human behavior. And so I will explain human behavior here, but in person I have so much respect for human beings that I would never speak that clearly, because I don't need to speak to someone that clearly because it could be hurtful if they're not ready for that information. And now I know that. But I do want respect and I want to be safe. So when a woman is saying that, that is enough pursuit. That doesn't mean that your worlds won't collide, but that means stop this pursuit. And maybe that could be enough. My ex, instead of breaking up with me, he just did things with other women in front of me that um, was that I allowed it to damage my love and my how I was feeling, my mood, and even about myself. He didn't, and I was so upset that he wouldn't just break up with me with the words. But guess what? He didn't want to hurt me. And he never said that statement, but I can see that in still current actions, even though we don't, we do not be together, you know? And so I learned 3 years later in choosing to look at my life that I don't need someone to say more damaging words to me so that I can accept the perceived rejection. I can, like day is night, let my desires or my want for something go, and I can move on and I can appreciate that person. And the fact that I appreciate somebody that perceivingly rejects me, they're just not into this dance that we're doing. Go away and dance again and go, but you don't have to. If your result was to have this and that is an X out, there's other ways to remain. You know, there's other way to enjoy someone that makes you feel delicious in a way that's healthy. So I didn't need him to say, I don't like you, and these are all the reasons. I could accept the day becoming night and the season turning to spring. It's a one chance kind of world in my world. Okay. And I love that you are here too, but I'm gonna have to have you stay in the comments and enjoy what we have going on. Okay. And those are the rules, and all the rules and the boundaries will be followed by. And I would love for you to contribute in the comments, but your presence is too much for me. Hey, Mike Kwan, thank you for supporting with beans. I love beans. And beans, the heavy hitters send beans, and they keep this world, they keep this spinning. And at nighttime, 9 to 2 a.m., I'm doing silly things and I'm looking good and my titties might be out. But which one is more valuable? Which one is
Excuse
generating
me? We not.
more business?
What's up,
Hey.
love?
Hey, Big Motion.
I'm cooler, baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
What you got
Oh
going
my
today?
God. I can't go back to
Uh,
sleep. I'll try. I'm up now. I'm gonna fucking woke me up again.
We are in the middle
No.
of a conversation. Talking about yesterday we had a moment where I shared we all were sharing or have been sharing for the past week our greatest triumphs in life or something we were able to change about ourselves, which is a very hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, and I will ask for beings on this panel. I don't do it all the time. I work it in. I'm very strategic and I'm great at what I do. We do a lot of
Preach.
lifting men. We do a lot of lifting men up in here, but we don't laugh at women and we don't belittle them. This panel will
But
generate beings, and it does. And because I ask for them, I'm not a slut and a bitch and a hoe that you should scoff at. People see people online and they think that their life is too easy and they hate that. And when they ask for monetary support, they can't see none of the good stuff that they received. Even if somebody is on here and they talking about how much they doing coke, they are lying to make you laugh and to make you happy. Some of them are, but some of them, it's a laugh and a kiki. So because I'm asking for my support, I do two things. I do a lot of things. Some are entertainment. This is intellect. Now my other shit popping, and if I will mention the biz. So it is intelligent for you to not scoff at me when I try to collect my beans, sweetheart. So who had a problem with it so they can get down from my panel because they are a dichotomous supporter, which you really a hater. Who was laughing
That
when I
nah.
said tonight that I do something else? Or was it the fact that I said that this panel should generate me beans? Who was laughing? Was that box one that thought
I
that
ain't
was
gonna
Don't
lie, I
funny?
was not.
don't
I wasn't laughing
don't.
about the part when you. I wasn't laughing about the part when you said about the beans. Like I'm a host on here as well. This is my fufu page.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I was laughing about the part when you said something about your titties because I didn't expect you that
Oh,
to come
okay.
out your
Oh,
mouth.
okay.
I don't. I'm a host as
Okay.
well. I get where you're coming from. Like I'm sorry,
Okay. Because, and I only said that because I'm not here to argue with anybody. I love my supporters.
baby.
But the thing is,
Oh,
have I have very high vibrational men that come on my panel, and most everyone is in agreement and understanding. It's the men that believe that they are high value and that they believe they are better than everyone else. Those men with their chains on come up and ask me to follow them, and I tell them I'm only following people that send beans. People send a bean and I follow them. Simple. This is my job. But those high value men, when I say that, after them speaking as high and mighty and giving all of that godly advice, they belittle me for wanting to make money off of what I'm doing. And you won't, that's disrespectful to the female woman, man. And I don't, as much as this is dedicated to men, the men in here, they don't, that's another part of human behavior. You would have more women that could be like me and could speak to you like this if it didn't hurt their ego. But this is a clear space, so nothing hurts. I don't even bring my own emotions in here. That's why I smoke today, which is one of my rules, that I show up meditated in meditation with a clear mind for you. So when I'm asking for beans, that's when I also need to hear how beautiful I am in this and in support. Hey, maybe I ain't sending the beans today, but one day, man, the information you told me, my life gonna be so bossed up, I will. Okay, so don't do that to me, and we can move on and flow to another topic of conversation.
no, it was never that. It was a disagreement. I don't know if you thought I was laughing because you asked for beam. I'm a host, like I said as well. This is my fufu page. This is my gifting page for my family. It was a part when you said something about your titties. I didn't expect a woman like
Mhm.
your mindset. I didn't expect that to come out your mouth with the mindset that you
What
have.
you
That's why I laughed.
Well, we are here
what
speaking facts and about human behavior. Every day I
All right.
wear a gorgeous outfit. I am a woman. Every
I,
day I say
yeah,
the
you
same word.
good.
I like to be a woman. I like to be sexy.
No,
Some men, they
there's no
really don't.
problem. I don't have a problem with it.
And women on, okay, good. Because we're human behavior, there's all the parts. I don't hide. I'm
Right.
not a pastor. I don't hide from the true
Move
parts of
around.
life. You know what I'm saying? We touch all the
Yeah.
parts.
Right. I
Otherwise,
listen
we
and I
would not
don't
know
judge.
how
You feel
to
me? So
behave. There's the showing of my physical PTSD symptoms and the hyperventilation, or in the cloudy mind, which you would see me and looking tired after I expressed myself yesterday. So now I'm comforting myself and I have my coffee. I did smoke on live, which is one of my rules, to not smoke to keep a clear mind, but I didn't want to start crying. And I don't want you to think that I'm a weak person in my life. No, I'm
it's not
happier than
okay.
this.
Okay, I'm gonna let you
It's
proceed with
not
your conversation.
something that, hold on. This is a clear mind space panel, and this is the first time you've been here. I'm gonna unmute the other guys. This is not a place where you have to defend what you're saying or your position, and you don't have to think that I'm saying something about you. People like this panel because they like to listen. We've been doing this for a long time, so the people that come in, is not to just speak and make it about yourself, is to uplift. The goal of this panel is a clear mind. And yesterday was the first time where I shared things about myself, no details at all, but just the aftermath of not being the aftermath of household dysfunction. hmm It was a little tougher on me because there are different human beings that have different levels of strengths, you know? So I don't really do the confrontation, right? Okay. So let's go back to this conversation. And y'all are unmuted. So y'all can, and everybody already understands not to talk over me. So that's why it's like you're just on mute for a second, because if we're all contributing, I take a rest, someone else start, and it's the mind, they love it. It feels good. So um after my thing show and I feel my embarrassment, where I would, people in my real world that would see my PTSD, I would hide from them and I wouldn't be able to face them because they saw that vulnerability. And this is not a world where it seems like love or displaying it is useful. It seems counterproductive, like it leads to you being picked on, or just feeling too much fear, you know? And so I am staying and I'm showing myself for the first time and all of these things to the whole world. But after I tested it on a few people in my life, and some embraced me and some rejected me, and that's okay. Physical PTSD and me feeling embarrassed and over explaining, and then explaining my over explaining, saying I'm sorry, and saying now I'm just going to be, then I would still feel the trembling in my body like I felt while I was sitting here, smoking my, MJ and coming back to my peace. And we were laughing and um, all of that was great. And then, excuse me, for me, everything is very stimulating. All of the people here, all of the lights, all of the things, I love it. But it is also very stimulating and it is emotional for me. And emotions are tough. They're like a big totality of all my experiences on me. So I don't like to anyone pressing that on me, And so as those different levels of emotions pass, then there's that leaving my physical body in this room, leaving my cells in my body. And that moment is a little bit irritating. So as I'm expressing myself and I'm doing this and I'm entertaining you, and I like to entertain you, I like to make people happy. You know, I went to art school to do this, you know, and so I will make it generate money, and I make people believe in themselves, and I teach them how to believe in themselves. And hopefully that trickles into wealth for you one day. And those are my intentions. So as I don't just ask for beans and say you should give me beans, I create the value and the love and the joy and the peace. And I'm creating something for you that one day not only compliments and beautiful things you will feel. And I'm building it. I'm building it. This is my art. This is what I do. So as I'm doing my thing, I would like you not to counteract this. Because if you counteract the generating wealth, what are we doing anything for? We're not, we are here to thrive and to have things. So that's illogical. We love money. We like a lot of it all the time, everywhere, all the time, all the things. We like a stocked cabinet of all the food that I could ever want. I've already been very low, and I'm using that to do this and to generate my wealth. I will not do this for free. I will not just be doing this and hanging on in desperation. I am here to be great. And I'm a great person. I'm a great human being, not because I'm stronger and more beautiful. I am great because I am love. I am love. And the book I mentioned, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, get the book, but cheat sheet. He talks about, I've talked here about basic needs being food, shelter, water, and love. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he has food, shelter, water, and then love on a higher tier. In my hierarchy of needs, I'm putting the love with the food and the water for me, because that's how I'm made. I'm made like a little, like more emotionally needy. This is how I'm made. And so with that, um, in Dale Carnegie's book, he talks about people's need to feel important being a basic need like food and water. They need it so bad that they're mean to people when they don't feel important. So he believes that to win friends and to influence people, meaning they get your message and they adopt it as their own, that is influence. Force is something, influence is something else. It's an agreement that I like you, what you're saying. And I like that little track that we're building to feel good and to be clear. I don't have a desire to manipulate you because I'm beautiful and I know that you're attracted to me. I like the attraction to, I like for you to understand that that is healthy, that your body does things when you see a woman being beautiful, and that you love that, and that if she makes money from that, she is golden. And that is one of the women that I want. I want one of those women. They know things about life. They can build me. The I, the masculinity can be even greater. It can be more useful when it is intertwined with a woman and her love and her femininity. The more sexy she is, the more bricked up and greater you will be in your physical body. And that is not, some people use it, some women use it for manipulation. But can you can you see their greatness and enjoy it to the point where they just use it to build the family and not to compete with you, which is unnatural because they are not a man, they are a woman? Can they not have to brick up and show you their femininity so hard that, and they're trying to like shovel it down into you, make you like it? Can you admire it, and then she could admire you because you can
I
see
need a
her?
prayer. I need a prayer. One of y'all hosts.
And then we don't pray for people in here. You can pray for yourself. You should be talking. I do not need to communicate a message for you, baby. You need to learn what I'm telling you, and then you do a communication. When you can see and admire beauty and femininity and have the appropriate, healthy response to that, I'm attracted to this, it feels good, I like it, I'm so mighty and big, but when I see a plant, I do water it and put it in the right areas and I do contain it. And she see that you don't have to do that. And it's so different from everybody else that she is now in awe of her containment and what's holding her. And she's blossomed and has become so orgasmic and so kind to the children and to you. And everything is around you is growing, that when she's naturally built to cook for you and feed for you, want to do it and want to take pictures of us and just tell everybody, I got a man, I got a man. Now it's not out of a desperation like a feeding tube, because she may have her more basic needs met. So she has, since the food, shelter, and water, since she has it, because she's successful, she has the time and she has the mental energy. She has the activation energy to think about her behavior and to be kinder to you and more respectful. And she has the time to listen to you and see what you want. And it's up to you to maintain and not to give in to an off day and not to go against the family clear space out of desire to show your masculinity, but to show it in a different way with your mind by displaying the substance that you secretly wish she would have, but you just can't see it. She's doing it all the time. And sometimes you're knocking it, or sometimes you're not accepting it because it's just look like a meal. How did she learn how to make that meal? What things happen? Ask her, start asking them some questions. And if they say no more questions from you, move on and ask another one questions. And even if they don't desire to couple up, they will be in awe of you because you look bright and you look like you have something that they want. Even if it's nothing and you're just like tricking them, you can trick yourself into being great, you know?
Sure day. What's happening?
What's up, Lion Logic? Joking, do you have something to say on it? And I was also trying to correct my behavior too, because
I'm good.
myself
I'm up.
I felt myself being arguing So I was correcting myself, and I hope y'all got that. I was trying to do that too. So what did you think, joking?
I was just
No,
listening, you know. Um, I can't say I have a real valid opinion on it. I mean, I was here yesterday. It's my main account. I was here under Bobbert.
you were Bobbert. I love you. Okay, in a healthy way for people with mental health. I'm gonna stop saying I love you. I can't say that, y'all, but thank you. I just followed you.
Yeah, gotcha.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm just listening to everything, you know.
Hmm.
No real conflicting topic or nothing. I agree with it.
Yeah. Somebody said yesterday that they like how we talk about our things and that we don't talk about them. We talk about them in
Yeah,
such a high up way, you know?
yeah, yeah. That's how it's supposed to be when you kind of are just searching for higher purpose and peace and everything. Like, you know, inner peace and everything.
Hmm.
It's just better questions, a lot of bigger things to ask, bigger things to worry about, better things that you can actually conversate with people about. I noticed one thing in the social spectrum is it's easier to kill people with kindness, even when you run into stuff like those distractions that we kick out. Sometimes, honestly, it's even better when you just talk about common sense and knowledgeable stuff to where it just kind of kills their goofiness and they don't feel the need to act like that. You can kind of just force someone's genuineness to come out, you
Hmm.
know, because it happened to me before when I like to troll. I like to act silly and goofy a lot. So, you know, if I run into a nice ass conversation, you know, it kills off my troll. I'm like, okay, let me just listen, this, that, and the third, you know. The voice change goes off, and then I'm giving people just genuine advice and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm studying the rest of the world. I'm looking at human behavior, people's mindsets and everything, and it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Hmm. Yeah.
I had to finish my damn book in between the ages of like from birth to 8 years old to 12 years old to 14, socially from 14 to 18, and then as an independent adult from 18 to 25 to 30. And it definitely speaks a lot and says a lot. It gives me a lot of insight to how people's mindsets work and everything. Everyone's different in their own way. Growing up, the influences that being most people think it's your parents, which it is. Then you forget your educators, your teachers, the people that's teaching you about your religion, and the social influences that you have, which are the biggest impact growing up. So yeah, I'm just observing, learning,
Yeah.
seeing what people's influences are, values, all that extra stuff. It says a lot. The more you let somebody talk, the more they expose themselves, though. That's for sure. You didn't freeze, did you? I was gonna say that.
No, no. I'm just like listening. I like to listen too.
Yeah.
When y'all are, I like to listen.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's one thing I learned about that book. It's very interesting. I've run into a lot of situations. I've seen a lot of people out here in this world. Oh
Yeah.
man, the way people are, the way they act, it's wild. You could think someone's normal, like how you mentioned the PTSD thing. It doesn't mean that they're not normal just because they go through certain hurdles.
Hmm.
But yeah, I wouldn't trust somebody that doesn't have a dark side or acknowledges a dark side of themselves. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's just something to get into. A certain state of delusion is definitely when someone is assuming that they're perfect. That whole ego and arrogance versus confidence it's a fine thin line for sure.
Mhm.
But at what aspect do we definitely look for the arrogance and confidence? What aspect of genuineness tells us whether it's a genuineness versus arrogance? And it's like, ugh,
Yeah.
is that a
And how to win friends and influence people. He talks about the need to feel important, the need to feel important, and that he believes it is a basic, like your driving factor, the thing that keeps you motivated to um, to remain in existence and to keep going, being that need for a feeling of importance. Also, food and water, because when you don't have it for a long time, it doesn't feel good. So you have to stop that feeling that of being hungry by going to get it. And so, but back to the need to feel important, I think I would say is love. Like love, like could be an alternative. That would I'm starting to think that because I love love and I love that I can just be loved without needing everyone to give it back. Like, and through the internet, this is the safest way to experience people. Cause, you know, so anyway, with that being said, the need to feel important. He said it's like food and water. And he talked about employers doing things like providing lunch on the weekends or like a thank you letter and like really meaning it. And it does something for the company morale to be appreciated because all of your employees, they are very important. You need them to do that thing so that you cannot do it and you can have that time to do something else. And
Mhm.
valuable. They're human beings. And a lot of employers understand that and they won't tell you they sad stories. But they came up wanting people to also know that they can do it. And that's why they appreciate the people that work for them. They cannot and they will not come and walk through and do all that shaking of the hands. They're beyond and they don't have to, but they are amazing to maintain millions of people, whether they got love in their heart or not, they're doing something great. And when I see greatness, I feel inspired and I am happy for that. And I enjoy it. And I like to look at it. And I like to aspire to also be great, you know? Um, I don't cut off my own greatness by adopting a negative attitude. um the psychology behind it is that Dale Carnegie in this book How to Win Friends and Influence People that everybody should go out and buy um
Mhm.
on audio because you can just listen to it. He says that for people um to find out what makes somebody feel important, you would need the ability to listen, not just begin to speak, but to listen and to take them in and all of the context clues and the way they dress and the way they present, not just to bark your shit at them. Everyone has 2 scoops of shit in their pockets. They don't need to look at yours. You don't need to throw yours in their face, right?
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So, um, asking them about themselves and the psychology behind it is when you ask people about themselves, and I'm not going to speak about myself. When asking people about themselves, why are you doing what you're doing today? What is it about this box, this lunch bag that you always bring to work? Why do you like that box, that lunch box? Because it's red? And then getting behind red. Oh, I can see some of the beauty in red. Red is a power color. Or you are powerful and you getting behind them, right? But the psychology behind it is that people like to talk about themselves. So if you're talking to somebody and all you're doing is talking about them and what they like, and you're getting into them, they're going to like you. Not because they know anything about you. They just think you a dope, cool person. All you did was talk about them, and they are filled up with themselves because people are selfish and they're thinking about themselves. But it could sound like manipulation and people could use something for bad, but you become a greater person after you read Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, because you have to get to the point where you can compliment someone without fluff. Because the second they feel the fluff, they know you a wolf in sheep's clothing and they're done. And I don't fool with it. And everything you ever did it means nothing. They can see straight through. But when you can compliment somebody and believe what you were saying, I like those glasses. I like that hat you got on and then you put it with another neutral black. I can see that you are stylish. Your background is clear and I don't hate on that. I like that. You look good. I hope my background could look like that one day. I enjoy it. I'm behind that and I'm in support of that. And eventually you could develop happiness and a good feeling about what other people have going on in their life. And that is happiness. When everything around you is beautiful and wonderful. And that is a mindset. Nothing can electrocute you enough to feel the happiness. Nothing. No experience. I don't care if you jump off a plane 5 days a week. It will not all begin to feel wonderful and beautiful until you can begin to have gratitude. Because this is the life. This is the only life. It's not like you're not getting another one. And your happiness is impacting other people, and your lack of happiness and your lack of love could not be making other people that can't present as strong as you. It could be encroaching on them, and they could have they could be a great big person, so why don't you make a little clear space around yourself and everyone else so we could all feel important because we're human beings. Do we walk and talk like a human being? You know what I'm saying? Could you be cool? Like, can I be like this? And it's like, hey, I'll fuck with it. Like, hmm
Yeah.
yeah. And then people could be themselves and they wouldn't have to be mad at something, you know?
I would still say, even with that, there's a different mindset to all of it. There's so many positives and negatives. There's a yin and yang to everything. Everyone's in their own yin and yang set of life. Either they're living in a positive stage or a negative stage, but it flips all the time. All the time. Those are just those ups and downs moments, those moments where people just don't feel like they're their best selves. Or it could just be me, because I know I have days where, yeah, I'll go through a depression stage or a happy day. Some days I wake up, I'm happy, I'm feeling great. I know it's gonna be a good day, and it just so happens to be a good day. And then other days, you just have those dreadful moments where you just don't know. You're just feeling bad. Sometimes I want to be in that funk. Sometimes I want to be in that sadness. Like, and when it comes down to other people, other aspects that I've seen about people, I observe that too. Some people don't handle it all the same way. They definitely don't. I'm seeing people feel bad for themselves a lot. Seeing people that feel are so full of themselves a lot. And you have people that are balanced, if that's not rare, but it isn't, but it is. But a lot of people separate their personal, what's the word? Personal self insight versus their world insight. Like, there's a part of them that's there for them versus the part of them that's just there for the rest of the world. There's the public eye and then the private eye. Like, and even then in
But go
public, it's how
back.
you view yourself.
Can you delve deeper into that? He said you have your personal worldview and then the real worldview. Um, can you go deeper into that?
Yeah, a personal worldview and then the public worldview or real worldview in general. It's how you can see the world. When you walk through the door and you're able to be at home in your safe space versus actually being out in public. Like, and with that, it goes into you have your public view, then your personal view. And even in public, you still have a personal view. And even when you're by yourself and when you're in private, you still have a public view. Because no
Mm-hmm.
matter what I do when I walk out the door, I have a way that I see myself versus a way that the world sees me. And it's completely different from when I'm in the house and I am myself versus the way that the internet may see me or however I let any type of form of the public into my private life in general, you know? Like, it's one thing that people don't talk about what goes on behind closed doors, but that's why it's behind closed doors. I'm not going to assume anyone is the same. You walk outside that door, it's a you're putting on something, whether it be a mask, a cape, maybe some running shoes, but you're getting ready to do something at the end of the day that has you putting it on to begin with, whether you are running for something, whether you feel like you're about to save something, or whether you feel like you're just putting on a persona for something. But that's everyone. But we're different in all sorts of settings. I'm not the same person just because I'm talking to you that I am with my family who doesn't see this side of me that you get to talk to, that I am at work, who I don't bring a personal worldview in, that they don't see a certain side of me when I'm with my friends versus when I'm in a relationship. Not every person gets the same traits. You might just be a little more stern when you're with somebody you love and more comfortably humorous when you're with your friends and maybe a little bit more shy and closed off with your family. Everyone knows some type of you. First impressions are a motherfucker. And everyone has that first impression. I got people that hate my guts versus people that think I'm the most sweetheart in the world, or somebody who just thinks I'm very closed off and reserved, or somebody that may think I'm very nonchalant. But at the end of the day, those aren't people that's confronting my emotions before I do. And when I do it, I give myself the most valid conflict resolution past that in an optimistic way that isn't self sabotaging to me, my morals, my boundaries, stuff that when I walk outside, I'm not going to let this person, because I was sad inside the house, doesn't mean I'm going to let this person put me down just because I done had certain bad thoughts about myself in the house. No, like what? There's boundaries. I see a lot of aspects in life about that. Now, I can't say I'm a master of repetitiveness, but I'm at that stage right now in my life where I'm 25. I can't retain half the information that I've had. I have no real interest, no real this, that, and that. I'm good at a multitude of things. I like to sing. I like to draw, maybe play some games. I like to write. But when it comes to paying attention and focusing on something, I'm not going to be able to just recall what I told you 3 days ago because I don't know what I was doing in those 24 hours throughout the day that mattered to me that much that it brought value to me that benefits me morally or anything. Maybe it's just a memory problem. Maybe I just have an advanced form of ADHD. I don't know, but I'm definitely trying. I don't believe in
You
medicine.
know what I think it is? I think that, and by the way, y'all, this is a philosophical conversation about mental health, human behavior, and self-development. I am not a medical professional. None of this is medical advice. This is just a conversation, you feel me? Um, but I think that your generation is just experiencing the life, the 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 day and night of each day. I think you're experiencing it and you're living it and you're creating it. It's like it's a vibe, it's a wave. And I think that you have to, as aware that you your generation can be, I think that you have to put your things out and be ahead of all the waves, the things that you see that are happening, the shifts, even the money market shifts. You guys don't, everything's just changed. So you don't need to wait on us to give you a blueprint of what to do and do the exact, do flow with our society. And where, the money market shift, then you begin to create the jobs in those areas and you stay brilliant. Like before all of the buildings came up and before the transportation systems came and the boats and the international, market that we have, somebody thought of the bicycle and the wheel and a sack on the back, and they just had to do it when it was time to do it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that evolution, it hasn't stopped. It is just, go on and what you're thinking about, begin that, and if you have begun, show someone else how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
How, if you were to be me, if you were to take the totality of your experiences and make it shebang bang, how would you do it? This is how I would do it. This is my real life. I really did leave my past and I went to art school and I had a lot of artist friends and that is who I am and this is my life and I like to do it live. Like, this is me,
Oh, yeah. I
hmm
definitely do. That's what it comes with that cycle of repetitiveness and the evolution. For sure. Some points in time for me, it's like I take on too many things at once and I need to not do that. And it gets all cloudy in the head where it's like, what the fuck? That's too much. That's too much. And I know to
Well,
slow down.
I went through that as well when I was trying to be great. I was trying to not heal, but just contain my mental health, the things that I didn't, want to process. I was just trying to keep them there while building my life and getting my food, shelter, water, and my love, right? And so I was first studying journalism and photography at an art school. And then I had stopped going there. And then when I moved back to my hometown, I was going up the law school route because I changed what I wanted to do. So I was on scholarship, studying at a prestigious university, and it was too much in my mind to not process all of this life and just try to study and work and do it up late night because I'm a hustler. I go and get it. It don't matter how many the hours of sleep. I'm gonna make it happen. But it was too much for my mind. So I had to drop out again, and I'm trying to be great and the things weren't working. So my mental health, my going to therapy and never stopping my talk therapy. One time I had to take Xanax for a period because I refused to, I would not have had all of this anxiety that sometimes I feel in my body. Or it's not anxiety. That was a constant state. I don't have anxiety. These are PTSD symptoms, those things. And so um I could not have, they don't have to be that big of a deal if I be normal. And I don't try and I just sit over here in the corner. Oh, I don't do too much but I choose to. I am not going to be like that. I'm not going to be everything that I've seen and be little. I want to be great. No one else has to be great. But I think I, I have, with everything that I've been through, I've had to pick out. I developed my social skills. I developed them in my 20s from um I would say I began that about 19 years old. I began to develop and reparent myself and learn how to interact with people without being so excited that I'm speaking to somebody that I'm too much energy. I'm really an intense human being, because I couldn't, for a while express myself. So now it's like a newborn, And then with the love as well, like I was so deprived and I'm wanting it and I know I'm made of this stuff. Um so I had to learn that. So I couldn't do my mental health healing and my studies at the same time. So I had to drop out of college. And I worked and I hustled and I did things where I didn't have to apply so much of my brain to the material world. But with even being on the law school track, a lot of it is writing. Can you write a contract? Can you orate so good that the sentence that you were saying equals plus another sentence equals this, even though that is not what you are communicating? It's just like that's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to write these I wanted to either do entertainment law or do divorce law and write all these wild ass contracts where if you were 5 o'clock late and you did not because of any male or female thing, but just because I thought that was the coolest writing. I love writing. So in most of my college, I studied creative writing. I studied literature. I love the art of writing, the creating of the letters, and then the communicating our different ways of life, the culture. I love all of the things about the life, especially the human interactions. Like they are so unbelievable that I want to know more because my first so many years were unbelievable and I would have done them way different. And I think everybody can see this looks a little bit more prosperous, but it's so confusing that you would still today look me in my face, and you won't even say I am so, like it's unbelievable that it's like, oh, I have to know more of this. Like I this is because I feel this good. Like why I have a desire to make you feel, I want you to feel good because then you be nice to me. And I love you. I just want you to be happy. That's what children want. They see you bringing the food home and the this and the that, and they want to thank you. They want to do this for their mommy and their daddy because they're not tainted. They can see that you are great and wonderful. And then some people hurt their children that they feel awesome because they are in awe of you. So if you could be in awe of somebody, you could feel orgasmic. If you could look at somebody and say, damn, you doing it, like you would feel orgasmic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.